Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. I want to say welcome to SKTV. My name is Sekou Ken, as always. I want to welcome you, all of you. Today we are privileged to play host to Mr. George Wisner, the chairman for the Monserrado County team for the CPP. Mr. Wisner, as you may know him, he does not miss his words. He's somebody who actually understands the issues and he articulates very well. So he's going to be here today to discuss everything CPP. We will discuss the last event in Magibi County, Kakata to be specific. But I want to encourage all of you to share the show so that we can have this conversation with Mr. George Wisner. Share the show, and share the show. You know, we're not going to go over our 2 hours. We are not in Phoenix right now. We are in Africa. You know, the data here is not easy. We do not have unlimited data here. But I want to say thank you to all of you. Omar Miata, welcome to SKTV. Omar, I know it has been a minute, but yes, I'm here. And okay, Mr. Kula, Dr. Kula, welcome. I know it has been a minute. All of you share the show, please. It's very important to actually listen to that speech. But in the meantime, while we share the show, let me do this. Please, let me see if I can recognize a few people. Omar, Miata, Stella, Henry, Dr. Bato Kula, Dana Toer, Yvonne Ayo, Tensi Babisolo. Paris, welcome to SKTV. Elonio Davis. Orita, welcome to SKTV. Regional Wilson. You know, some of the people then that are coming to call their name, they did not send data money, or placard and name over. The number one, that Orita. But anyway, folks, welcome to SKTV. Really, I really miss all of you every time when every day that passes. If I don't do a show, I kind of miss all of you. But yes, it's important that you share the show. It's very, very important you share the show. While we are with Mr. Wisner, let everybody share the show. All right, let's do this.
I say, Ricky, how coming? Frustration coming.
CPP coming with fire. Corona men retire. Just see the way we do yellow bone. Papa go. Tengashoria, this more Tengashoria. That's more Tengashoria.
When Alice Cummins become president, party struggle fini. Government officials will stop stealing our country money. Common people starving, daily leaders having party. We've been praying for better days, but things just getting nasty. CPP coming politicians run for political for being funny. Retire was suffering, the hour is now. Alice Cummins spending the money. The citizens poor, but the country is rich. Responsible leader with 40 for change. First out 1 and first out 2, take over the mansion and handle the key.
Tengashoria, I say yeah. I got that boy. Who buy my name? Got the way, got my name. We celebrating Mary, making for the winning day.
When Alice Cummins
Show a face, yeah, tell me who can show that face. I say we're taking over, CPP taking power. And then go lead the team, still give me opposition, getting confusing. Hey, CPP coming with fire. Corona men retire. Just see the way we do yellow bone. Papa go. Tengashoria, this more Tengashoria.
Melbourne, how you doing? What's up?
I'm okay though. I'm okay. It's just that it is some VJ. Sometimes I think it happen, But I'm doing great. And you?
Man, I ate some of the food. I know that the Korea I ate. I got food poisoning. my stomach be hurting me the whole day, man. But
You
I
got your
already
daily
taking some gas.
in the
I'm
region.
already taking some gas tablets, so I should be fine.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. Don't try it though. Sometimes what can happen, it's not easy. So welcome, man. Anyway, everything.
What's going on from where you are, man? What's up with you?
I mean, yeah. I'm looking for you yesterday. I want to, no. Maybe that want to call will give me
That must be
yesterday
the
for you.
situation I only handle. I
Yeah,
went to a
very,
situation
very.
I say, you know what? Even me ones are not taking a call today.
I say,
Because
wait,
me want to sneak like my begin Cyrus. They trying to locate me some kind of way.
but I tell you, I get my subtle level. And I know already the part of sub region and everything. I know all of that. So just leave it. But anyway, I'm doing great. Thank God. At least everything is okay. And from my end here. And it's just that the weather and the sub region behavior, the attitude, already, especially on the weekend.
But my own situation, a lot more of the
Yeah.
situation is different.
Ah,
Yeah.
mm.
For somebody can say that more of the kind of situation I was in. No. They want a good situation, not a bad situation. The other situation I was in, a lot more of the type of situation that different on a different level.
Me, I
But they
tell
told
one
me wasting my own man, the things that are different situation we're in.
yeah, no man. In a sub region, you gotta be careful. Big man is very careful. Man, yeah, very, very careful.
I can tell, man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
mm.
today we are privileged to play host to Mr. George Wisner, the man who knows how to explain everything. Mr. Explanation. The man knows how to everything together for the CPP. So Mr. Wisner going to be here today. We're going to get updates from him vis-a-vis the CPP. We want to understand what's going on. I saw a lot of things in Kakata, honestly. And as I've said on this platform, time without number, that the crowd politics is not a problem in Liberia. But now, if you're going to play the crowd politics, then it's a problem now. Because if you can boost of crowd size in Montserrat where everybody lives, if somebody can pull off the kind of crowd in Kakata, give you content.
For you, but it can even get you crap.
Yeah. But then that is a big deal. However, like the man I call Mr. Explanation, the man who know how to pull everything together, he just show face. The man must say, we got a score to settle because say I in the sub region, I can't smell the man. I'm in the sub region, I can't smell the man. But the man will pay fine. But anyway, folks, I want to say thank you to all of you for following SKTV. Those of you listening to us on radio, whether you are in Nima County, Bapolu, Monsuaro, Grand Cape Man, Bomi, or you are listening to us somewhere in the southeast, whether in Plibo, Zredu, or you are in Sastan, or you are in anywhere, Zisano or Grand Jire, or somehow all the way in Mahunta in Queen, we want to say welcome to SKTV. Today, Mr. George Wisner, Chairman for Team CPP for Monserrato. I may say, I mean, when the power it goes beyond Monserrato because when they met you cover the whole place. Let's welcome Mr. George Wisner. Mr. Wisner, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. Good to see you. How are you?
My man, I'm in a sub region. I'm shining joy like you right now. The only problem, I don't want my light will go off. The first time I had show, before I load, beginning, they say, oh, they let me go. Before I load again, they let not come back. I say, no, they were on bad, not good thing. Well, Mr. Wisner, welcome. I know you
Thank
guys
you
are
very
here.
much.
What's going on, man? What's new?
My man, right now we are on the move. We were in Kakata yesterday. We are still, like I told you, going to every nook and corner of this country, making our case in the street, knocking on doors. I guess our detractors are confused because they always trying to guess what our strategy is and always try to second guess us. But notwithstanding, they are not our focus. Our focus um, is the electorates, and those are the people that are giving us overwhelming reception wherever we go. It's resonating.
Hmm. Okay. So, any update from Montserrat? Because I'm going to go to Kakata. Because what I saw yesterday, in a small thing. So, any update from Montserrat? I mean, I saw a lot of things.
Yeah, few days ago, just a day before we went to Kakata, we were in district number 12. We had conducted area to area campaigning, knocking on doors in the different communities in the District 13 area, in the District 11 area, and in the District 12 area. Because most of our engagement politically is what most people refer to as Jehovah Witness, but we refer to it as community engagement, as interactive engagement. So the standard bearer was in District 13. I was in District 11. And then we had our team in District 12, combing the different neighborhoods and explaining to our people. And then the standard bearer did a brief walk from Bannersville Junction. And then we met at the Steering Tower Estate Field, where he appeared briefly on stage with three of our candidates from those three districts. So that was for yesterday. Today we continue. As a matter of fact, I was in district number 4 this morning. I had a good meeting with my team in district number 3, and on we go. This election, the price is high, the stakes are high. Liberia is at a crossroads. Our country has retrogressed terribly over the last 5 years. We have to do what we have to do. Everyone, this is not a time to sit on the fence. We all have to get into this thing. If you look at the drugs go into our communities and destroying the young people, it does not segregate. We cannot sit and think that we are safe no matter where we are. We have relatives, we have our sons, our daughters, our friends, our loved ones who are in this place. The economy is so terrible. People are suffering, no jobs, no opportunity. And this is what we want to change. And this is why we are calling on all Liberians on board, not the noisy ones, but those who are eager to join us every day as we go. Talk to 3, 4, 5 persons, knock on doors, go everywhere. We have to make this thing work.
So, somebody asked me yesterday, Seku, it looks like something is happening, but what do you think, as far as messaging is concerned, that are resonating with the people? I said, I don't know. And the person was like, but you need to ask the people, let them tell whatever that is, they need to double up. So, what are some of the messages? What are some of the things that are really making the Liberian people to gravitate towards Mr. Cummings and the CPP towards the finish line? I mean, what's going on? Tell us, what are some of the things that people are really buying into?
There are two things here.
Okay.
First is the message. And then second is the messenger or the person who wants to do the job. The first is the message of transformation. It's the message of genuine change. It's the message that the thing that hurts the people most, the bread and butter issue, is what Mr. Cummings and the CPP are speaking to. It's what hurt these young people who are leaving college by the thousands and hoping for opportunities. It's what Mr. Cummings offers, his capacity and his network to ensure that we attract the necessary kind of support we need in the immediate, and also to expand the private sector that will be the engine of growth and development in this country. This is what's resonating with the people. Then also what's resonating with the people is that Mr. Cummings offers a different kind of leadership, because Liberia's problem has been a leadership deficit, especially managerial leadership. The Liberian people have been yearning for someone who's able to manage the country's meager resources in order to make the people happy, to put food on the table. Someone who has a clean character and has the capacity to do so. The right judgment, the right competence, the right network, the right managerial skills. Those are the things that are resonating with the Liberian people. And the way Mr. Cummings carries about it. They can trust him because in the relatively short time that he has interacted with Liberian people, they see that this is a man of his word. He says what he will do and do what he says. Mr. Cummings has never said anything to the Liberian people and shown otherwise. Even when people try to undermine him, try to bully him and wrestle him out, he decided to stay with the Liberian people. And this is what is resonating with the Liberian people. And more than that,
yeah, okay, go ahead.
And more than that, Sekou, it will surprise you to note that as we go to these places, to these communities, it is the mothers, the women that are coming out, that are crying to us and saying, we pray to God, we are with you. Let this man win. We go to bed with tears in our eyes when we see our children being destroyed by Kuch. You saw recently again, under this government, meth was imported in the country, attempted escort out of the airport. Were it not for our international partners, after the alarm was blown, they would have deceived the Liberian people again that it was just some moringa leaf. It was because the UN and other people insisted on examining this. That's how the Liberian people know today. But this is not the first time it has happened. It's not. Our children are being destroyed. These women are telling us that, look, when we go into their communities, they are dancing, praying for Mr. Cummings, because they are the one who feeling it most. They are the one who hold their stomach and beat their stomach for their 9 months labor, to see how their 9 months labor being destroyed by drugs. And some of these drugs facilitated by the very government that's supposed to be protecting them. These women have tears in their eyes for their children who they labor for, sent to school. Some of these women under the rain, toting potato green on their head, going to the market to make sure their children go to get some education. And when their children leave college, what happened? They can't even find job. They can't even find job. Most of the college graduates now, you know what they're turning to in the country? They're playing winners. That's not sport bears, winners to get money in the pocket. No opportunity. Idleness all over the place. These are the mothers that are crying and praying to God.
Mr. Wisner, not to cut you off, you know, like I say, I had a conversation yesterday with somebody, and speaking of people gravitating towards Mr. Cummings and the CPP, the demographic aspect, looking at the voting age in Liberia, 60% of the voters are under the age of 35, 35 and below. And most of communist supporters are young people.
Yes.
And then the women factor, the market women factor. Somebody say, but I heard about this whole macro loan thing, macro loan. A lot of women are hearing it, but they don't even know what it means. They don't got a clear understanding. Some of them don't even know how, they're going to benefit. In fact, whether or not only people from the CPP will be benefiting. Can you actually explain this whole idea of macro loan? Who are the will-be beneficiary? And also, why is it that the young people gravitating towards Mr. Cummings and the CPP? What are they hearing? Why are they buying into those two type of demographic within the voters, among the voters? What can you clearly explain this whole idea of macro loan and then why the young people are gravitating towards Mr. Cummings and the CPP?
Okay, let me take my time for
Please.
my sisters, my aunties, and my
Yes.
mothers out there for the first part of your question, which has to do mainly with the women and this macro
Yeah.
loan thing. And then I will take my time for my little brothers to understand why Mr. Cummings is the way and why they are resonating towards Mr. Cummings. When Mr. Cummings said, this man, before he said he wanted to run for president, this man, he was already working with big business people in the world. This man, in fact, he was a big man with some of the big companies that you can find that were in America. But the companies, they got branches all over. And this man, he now worked in America, he worked in Great Britain, he worked in Nigeria, he worked in Kenya, in different countries, and he see that for the country to develop, for the people to get jobs, for the mothers to be able to get money to take care of children, they may see that government can do some, but government is not the way to do everything. That the business people, that the market people, that the people who got a shop. So he said, hey, they liberating all the past politicians, all the past government, they've been doing the wrong thing. That's why the country ain't go nowhere. Because all of them, they just focus on the government. You saw when CDC said came to power, when they talk about creating jobs, what they did, they just take all the people, they dump it in government. As a result, they had to cut civil servant pay. They may say, not the way they can face country. And not the way. All the people there who running, they know how to face country because they're going to do the same thing. George Wisner, he made it worse. Even the Jeremiah Kun and Prince Johnson and Omer Bweka, the same thing again that government is going to depend on. They may say you do that one, the country can't fix. To face the country, we must make sure that you who want to do business, you get money to put it inside your business. Then you will create job, the profit from your business. You'll be able to send your children to school and do a lot of things. So he said the number one thing I will do when I win, for you women, where you suffering, you got to put money, your hand in susu. You got to put your hand in very saving loan. You go to the bank, say they can't give you money. Even if the bank give you money, they say 30 days time, you start paying the money. When you sell for your goods to China, it takes 6 weeks, 1 month and a half for the goods to come. But yet the bank say, start paying my money back in 30 days. Hi. So the man say, no, all the things I can make it, you can't do good business. That's why the foreigner then taking over our country. So I will put money in the bank. As soon as you elect me president, the first 3 months, The poor people call it 100 days. The first 3 months and a half, he said, I will put $20 million in the bank. That $20 million is to make it easy. So the bank can charge you 14% interest rate. That means for every $1 you borrow from the bank says you will pay 14 cents on that $1. Then on top of it, the bank charge you 2 cents for bank service charge. Then the bank say, you turn right again, 30 days time, you start paying me. He said, no. When I put the money in the bank, it's for everybody, all of you business people. But me, men too will benefit from the money. Young men and other businessmen will benefit from the money. But he said, I will give priority to you women. And the reason why he said I'll do it, because it's important. When women are in business, when you grow your business, the first thing when you get a profit that the children in the house you're thinking about. So it got immediate impact on the household. So he said, I will put $20 million in the bank. Then he said, I will instruct the Investment Commission and the Ministry of Commerce to work with the private people so that they can help you to be able to do your business plan, so that you can be able to apply to the bank for the money. So that no excuse to say, you know, Bo, only the poor people will go and get the money. No. We call that one business development. They will work with you, in fact, to help you to develop your plan. So that when you go to LBDR or you go to ECHO, you say, let my plan here. I want to grow my business. I just don't want to sell better ball. This time now, I want to have shop. You'll put it together. You'll be able to get that loan for cheap rate. Instead of 14%, maybe you even get it for 5% or 8%. Because the government put the money there. They will guide you. That's what the macro loan about. That small money you'll be able to take to grow your business. Now, the second part of your question about the young people, why these young people are...
Before you go to the second part, though,
yeah,
I want you to clarify some area.
Mm-hmm.
The person was concerned about, is this loan for people then that will vote for Cummings, or people then that only support the CPP, or for all the Liberian people? I want you to clarify that part.
When Cummings become president, when you elect him, that means he's president for all Liberian people.
Okay.
So whether you ANC or you Liberty Party or you Unity Party or you LPP, every Liberian people, because this man, he like Liberia. That's why he's running. And he's running for all Liberians. Whether you Christian, whether you Muslim, Mr. Cummings say it doesn't matter. Because all of us got to pull hands together to build Liberia. All of us got to pull hands together to build Liberia. So he said...
I think that's fair enough. You can go to the second question.
Okay.
Second part of the question.
Now, for the young people, Mr. Cummings offers something different. You know, many of these young people, yes, you said it, majority of the population, those who are going to vote, they are below 35. But guess what? Many of the young people now, by 22, 23 years of age, they are already getting out of college. These young people are looking towards a future. And when they look in the race, they want someone who they can trust, someone who can guarantee them good schools to prepare them, good scholarship, someone who will bring in jobs through the private sector. And they look at it. They know they can't trust the current government because the current government already conniving with the drug community to destroy them. They know they can't rely on Jeremiah Kuhn and Prince Johnson on the Unity Party ticket because already the international community got problem. The people who supposed to help this country. And we can't afford to elect a government then international people who supposed to help us, investors who supposed to help us, start to wait for 2 years to see what the government will do. They know we need a government that will start right away to inspire that confidence, that trust that is needed to grow the private sector. And Mr. Cummings presents that. Then more than that, these young people also know Mr. Cummings is recommending, Mr. Cummings is bringing something that none of the other candidates talking about. Even if they are talking about growing the economy, none of them talking about what do we do right now for the children that are already in college now they're about to go. Mr. Cummings said, I will introduce the National Youth Service Corps. And you know, Sekou, the reason why I like the National Youth Service Corps, I will tell the public something. When I was president of the Federation of Liberian Youth in 2005, and after my tenure, I decided I was not going into government immediately. I was working with with UNDP as a consultant. But when Ellen government came to power, I was one of the few that worked in Washington or work visa that I went to. And what I did, I worked with the Education Development Center in Washington, D.C. under Paul Soley to develop a pilot project for National Youth Service Corps. This is why I am passionate about it. We did a blueprint. And it struck me more when Mr. Cummings spoke about this without even having that, without me even telling him that, look, one of the things that I want to do immediate for young people is the introduction of a National Youth Service Corps. Now, what is it for you all over there? What Mr. Cummings is saying, while we are trying to bring the companies, while we are trying to get things right to expand the private sector, what do we do with young people coming out of the university? Two things the employers usually say. One, they say young people don't have the skills and the experience. In other words, they say the problem with young people is not just an employment problem. That is, even if we have the job, young people don't have the experience. Isn't that what they can say? To do.
Yeah.
Mr. Kumi say, if you have a youth service corps, it prepares young people in a way for the job market. Because we will tailor in such a way, before you leave college and enter the job market, we will ensure that you do 1 year of service. And in that service, we will deploy you around the country to strategic areas, even to some of these business women we are talking about, for students coming from out of accounting or so, to work with them. While you are doing the service, you're getting some experience. We will tailor it. We will be able to train you to get some work ethics behind you. It will go as a credit for you for your future employment. Then you learn citizenship through volunteerism. And then we got one a big word we use, social cohesion, because one young person could be taken from Monrovia and deployed in Harper to go and work there. So we are able to build that unity and identity. Many things we do. Then while you are on the youth service corps, we are giving you stipend. We are giving you stipend every month. So you're learning citizenship, you're getting some work experience, you're learning volunteerism, and you also getting stipend. That one thing that he promised to the young people. The other thing that he promised to the young people, he said he will reintroduce the cadet program. You know, when I was growing up, I benefited from that when I was attending cathedral. During vacation time, I know one time I worked at NACOM as a vacation student. I know another time I worked at education ministry as a vacation student for 10th grade. So he said, for those young people that are in high school, or even in college, during vacation time, that 2-3 months, instead of you sit down and being idle, we will take these young people, will provide the opportunity through the labor ministry and the commerce interacting with the private sector and government institutions to ensure that these young people are given vacation job to do. And then they will be able to earn small money to buy their copybook, their pencil, to ease the burden on their parents. So he will reintroduce the vacation job program and the cadet program that plenty of people do. And not only that, he said through the Ministry of Youth and Sports, we are going to accelerate the apprenticeship program. Liberia had that. In fact, some of the best mechanics we have in Liberia learn through apprenticeship. Some of the best carpenters learn through apprenticeship. What that means, he said, you young people, you don't have to finish college. You don't have to finish high school before you learn trade. We will take young people and put them with experienced people so they learn the trade while they are going on and they can earn.
So in short, you are telling me now that the plan Mr. Cummings and the CPP has for the Liberian people is that everybody will get jobs somehow, some ways.
Yes,
Even if you're not educated, but you will get jobs. They will train you. They will give you the required skill set to get job, right?
Yes. What Mr. Cummings has said, he said, look, while you may say it is not the right of every citizen to work in government, what you can do is that it is the right. It is the right of every citizen to earn a living. And so he said he's going to create that condition to earn a living, whether you're in government, out of government, whether you college graduate or you're not college graduate, you have the right to live in this country and earn a living. And this is what the young people are flocking around Mr. Cummings. Because this is about them. It is about the future. It's about hope. This is why the women are gravitating, because this speaks to their children's future. And Mr. Cummings is saying, we're not going to wait for 2-3 years to do it. As soon as I get, this is a low-hanging fruit. You see, all the other people, they are traditional politicians. So they're still stuck in that old framework about how to develop the country. All of them think that government job to develop country. All of them think is about stealing to develop the country. Mr. Cummings said, no. We got to do things differently. We got to do things differently. In fact, the government will just be there to create the environment. But we have to push the private sector. Our young people will have to prepare them for the job market. Then Mr. Cummings said something I want to say, that he talked about education. You know, our education institution, I went almost all my school days in Liberia. I went to first Building for Tomorrow, where it was William Arator Primary School. Then I went to Calvary Baptist. Then I went to Cathedral. Then I went to the university, my first degree. Then I entered the graduate program in the University of Liberia. All those parts. Mr. Cummings, look at the educational system. One of the things that have been lacking in our education, besides the quality which we will deal with, he will make sure the schools are equipped, qualified teachers, but there is something more fundamental, structural about our educational system. Our educational system, especially from the high schools, are not set up, or our educational system is not set up to ensure that those coming from out of school have functional skills to access job on the job market. Even students coming from the University of Liberia, in this Asian time, some students find it even difficult to switch on the computer. The reason is that our educational system has not focused the curriculum to align with what is needed on the job market. So Mr. Cummings is saying we have to introduce what he calls the STEM system. We have to focus on science, mathematics, technology, to be able to address our modern day situation. Seku, I gave you something. I worked in government and I worked with the investment commission. And I tell you, it came a time they had a mining company here. Before I went to the investment commission, when I came from abroad, when I came from school, and Madam Salif asked me to, with my new skills, not to go back to the foreign ministry, but to go to help in the investment commission. One of the things I was so passionate, and I was asking myself, why is it that we got hotels in Liberia, but they employ Indian people to be hotel managers? Why is it that we have all of these concession companies and we still don't have Liberian jobs? So one of the things that I did want to, when I went to NIC, I put my foot down. And Asla Mita will tell you that story and other people. Say Liberians must be given preference if you want to do the concession. So they had a test. I think Asla Mita also had a vacancy. They needed about 40 geologists. That was a vacancy. They published that vacancy. Guess what? That vacancy ran for over 6 months. They couldn't even recruit 15 geologists in Liberia. It's because our educational system was such that everybody was doing accounting and management and sociology and political science. Because our system didn't focus people more to prepare them for the job market. The guys came back to me and said, Mr. Executive Director, can your country give us 40 geologists? We're looking for geologists. So just imagine, we have job opportunities, right? But yet we still have unemployment. Mr. Cummings wants to change this. That's why he said the educational system will focus mainly on, it will be after the STEM model. And it will ensure that technical and vocational institutions be given priority for Liberians who do not want to go to college to have bachelor degree. They can just go to a polytechnic or skills school. In Germany, most of the technocrats don't have master's degree. Those are people who went to trade school, technical institutions, and they are driving the German economy. This is what Mr. Cummings wants to do for the educational. That's why the young people, this is what is resonating with the young people, because he's bringing something new. It's not the same old, same old. Sekou?
So,
sorry if I'm rapping to today.
yeah.
No, today? Yeah.
No, you kind of made me feel speechless, because the thing is, when I'm asking a question, right? I'm not asking for me. I always ask the concerns of the Liberian people. A lot of people talk to me, they don't have access to talk to you, to ask you, or to talk to Mr. Cummings. So you talk a lot of good things about the education, the job market, and everything. The healthcare system in Liberia is bad. What are some of the plans? Because if you go to America, right? When they say healthcare, Liberians are hugely vested in healthcare. Nursing assistant, nurses, in some area doctors, Liberians, and they are doing well. Some are pharmacists. And they want to come home to improve the healthcare system in Liberia. Do you care to tell us the plan Mr. Cummings and the CPP have for Liberians when and if he wins the election?
That's a
briefly, because what we're going to do here, I'll give you time up to 6:58. Then we'll take a break. We're going to go to news bulletin at that time. Then 15 minutes after 15 minutes after 7, we'll come back to continue. If we can do it under 5 minutes, fine. If not, we'll continue that conversation. But that's very, very important. I want you to elaborate on it if you can.
Okay, I will try, and I will be looking at my time. So now I reach this, I will stop there. We'll continue later. But that's a good question, because education and health are important for the economic growth. And Mr. Cummings' entire campaign is about reviving the economy and improving the governance system. So when it comes to health, Mr. Cummings' policy about health is in twofold. First, Mr. Cummings says that his priority is going to be in primary health, or in other words, Mr. Cummings is going to focus his health policy on preventive health. In other words, many of the illnesses that Liberians died from are illnesses that could be prevented, in the very first place. So his health policy is going to be both focused on preventive health and also on curative health. By curative health, he means for those who are already sick, he will ensure that the hospitals are equipped to handle especially the most common illnesses that kill Liberians every now and then. Malaria. Now we got diabetes that is becoming a public health issue. Maternal health. Women dying in childbirth, or children dying even before they reach the age of 1 year. He's going to do all of that. Make sure that the hospitals have medicine, that they have good equipment to diagnose diseases and everything. That's on the other side. But he said before we even get there, he's also going to invest in what we call preventive health. I was in conversation today with a lady who is on her way to Sweden to do her doctorate degree in public health. And while we're talking, as a policy person, because she's doing her research paper, so she reached out to me to discuss policy issues, and since she knows that I'm a policy expert. And I told her, I said, one of the things that I'm disappointed that I know public health should be is to be able to help us create awareness, sufficient education to prevent the population from contracting diseases that could be avoided. So Mr. Cummings is going to, for example, invest more in the Public Health Institute to do some research investigation. For example, right now, many Liberians are dying from diabetes. It's no longer an old person sickness. It's a young person sickness as well. The Public Health Institution should be able to research and investigate to know why are Liberians dying from this. And if they know it, is it the diet that we eat? Is it the food? Also, then they educate Liberians. Malaria. Why is it that we are contracting malaria and dying from common disease like malaria? Do we have to do more to clean our environment, to avoid swamp water setting somewhere? Do we have to use more mosquito net? These are all things that we can do to avoid us getting sick in the first place. He's going to invest more in that. Then he's also going to equip the hospitals. And he said he's going to focus on prenatal care, children and mothers, pregnant women, going to ensure that they have access to the best kind of health services.
All right.
And
So
Mr. Cummings is going to make
not to
prenatal
cut
care.
you off, not to cut you off, I will stop you right there and go get some water to drink. Go eat whatever you want to eat. If you can send me some through mailbox, I'll eat it.
And I'll come by in 15 minutes, eh?
Yeah, come by 15 minutes. Come by 7:15. That
All
will
right.
be around the ending of the news bulletin. Then we can resume the conversation.
Okay.
All right. However, folks, I want to thank all of you. This is SKTV. We are going to be joining Truth FM 96.1. If you're in your bus, going home, or sitting home, tune to Truth FM to get the local news, and it will be followed by our conversation with Mr. George Wisner. Mabel,
Thank you.
back to
Thank
you,
you.
back to you and the crew.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So far, they have a 2 minutes climbing up to 7 o'clock, and coming up at 7 is 15 minutes of news bulletin coming from our newsroom, 2FM 96.1. So if you're there, please don't do that, touch that. I understand that it's raining out there. So if you're going out, please don't forget also about your rain gear. So this break, we'll be right back.
Parties CPP. Vote Alexander Benedict Cummings and Councillor Charles Brumskin, President and Vice President for a better Liberia, for massive and decent paid jobs with equal access to jobs and opportunity, irrespective of your political, social, or ethnic background. Vote Cummings and Brumskin for a better economy where the nation's wealth will be fairly distributed for the benefit of all. For a genuine enforcement and implementation of a sound Liberianization policy that sets aside certain businesses exclusively for Liberians. Vote Cummings and Brumskin for improved and better health care, better quality education, and better care for retired and old people. Vote Cummings and Brumskin for support through loans to farmers for increase in food production for the nation. Vote Cummings and Brumskin for a better judiciary and genuine enforcement of law and order aimed at attracting direct foreign investment for massive job creation. Yes, vote right. Vote for a better Liberia. Number 4 on the board on October 10th, Alexander Benedict Cummings and Councillor Charlie Brumskin for President and Vice President.
Years ago, a new center was birthed, charged to collect balance, credible, and accurate news and information. A task tested and proven, including the arrival of the numbers of news presentations where truth are told, accurate news, quality is next.
Good evening, the RCR News Bulletin at 7 is read by Edwin Dolo. In the headlines, Luca Ricci, an American missionary facing investigation on suspicion of attempting to slide the crew of his girlfriend Jessica Law, said she was hit by a motorcycle after disembarking his vehicle. Presidential candidate Sheikh Mustafa Kuyate has identified industrialization of the agriculture and mining sector as the easier means to fix the Liberian economy. A 41-year-old man identified as James Stockman has reportedly committed suicide by hanging in Division 6 Firestone, Margibi County. And away from Liberia, the aftermath of the deadly flooding in Libya has been described as a deeply shocking catastrophe that is unimaginable in its consequences by top UN officials Martin Griffiths. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Lucas Richard, an American missionary facing investigation on suspicion of attempting to slide the crew of his girlfriend Jessica Law, said she was hit by a motorcycle after disembarking his vehicle. He said while trying to rescue her, he was attacked by angry motorcyclists who accused him of attempting to kill her. Richard's church, Christ Church, in a Facebook post said he was attacked and robbed in Liberia, hence calling on members to offer prayer for him. Meanwhile, Jessica's mother, Cynthia Law, in a live interview with journalists, said the incident happened weeks after her daughter got pregnant for Regis. Madame Law alleged the missionary reportedly destroyed the pregnancy by injecting her daughter. The incident occurred in Caldwell Bushel Island on Tuesday. The victim, who is in a critical condition in hospital, was rescued by a motorcyclist named Ernest Phillips and an eyewitness, Adrian Sati. Ernest Phillips and Adrian Sati said they saw the man taking the lady from a white Land Cruiser Jeep and trying to behead her using a knife. Presidential candidate Sheikh Mustafa Kuyate has identified industrialization of the agricultural and mining sectors as the easier means to face the Liberian economy. The Liberia First Movement presidential candidate appearing at the recent presidential debate held in Congoton said he will introduce a total liberalization policies which will empower farmers to produce sufficient food for the state, thereby reducing the importation of rice and other produce. The renowned Liberian politician activist also disclosed plans to encourage local and foreign investors to partner with Liberian farmers in order to have 5 rice mill plants in 5 regions of the country. Sheikh Kuyate added that through a private, that is public-private partnership, his administration will ensure a gold refinery company which will be mandated to give Liberia 30% of its income on production. The Liberia First Movement presidential candidate also vowed to revisit all concession agreements and all those companies that have contracts to take iron ore out of Liberia will have an industry established. Sheikh Kuyate further noted that when this is done, jobs will be created for the young people and the economy will be vibrant. A 41-year-old man identified as James Tokpa has reportedly committed suicide by hanging in Division 6, Firestone, Margibi County. Tokpa, according to our Lower Margibi County correspondent, committed the act on Thursday after his wife caught him having sexual intercourse with another woman in the rubber boat. RCA Lower Margibi County correspondent disclosed that following an investigation, the deceased was asked to pay 10,000 Liberian dollars as damage to the husband of the woman in question, which he, Tokpa, accepted. According to the report, Tokpa later told the people that he was going to rub chemical in his rubber and he did not return until he was found hanged on Friday. Our correspondent said the body is now deposited at the Dulce Hospital in Firestone, Margibi County. The county educational officer of Monswaro County School System Number 1, David Boaka, is challenging school administrators to verify the credentials of teachers seeking employment at their institutions. Boaka has, however, threatened drastic actions against individuals using fake credentials and degrees as means of seeking employment in Monswaro County. The Monswaro County CEO alarmed over the proliferation of falsified documents in the school system, terming it as troubling, something he said is seriously affecting the system. Speaking Friday at the start of a day-long teachers' workshop organized by Pinzo School District 1, David Boaka challenged teachers in Monswaro and Liberia alleged to take advantage of the teacher training aimed at advancing themselves. Also speaking, the district educational officer of Pinzo Educational District 1, Monswaro County School System 1, Nathan Carr, disclosed that the workshop was a mandate from the Ministry of Education that aims to sharpen the skills of teachers for the academic 2023-2024 school year. Carr pledged his commitment to collectively work with schools in his district for a successful school year. Presidential hopeful and renowned Liberian lawyer Councillor Chairman George has called for the immediate dismissal of the Chief of Executive Mansion Protocol Nora Finabono for her alleged connection to the recent drug saga at the Rabat International Airport. The standard bearer of the Liberian People Party wants Finabono to be arrested and investigated so as to enable prosecutors apprehend her conspirators for further investigation. The former Solicitor General of Liberia has also offered to render his service to assist the government prosecute individuals found in connection to the drug saga. According to Councillor Tiawan Gonklo, the issue of illicit drugs must not be politicized in Liberia. Instead of drug addiction must be treated as a national emergency by the collective involvement of all Liberians. The LPP standard bearer described narcotic drugs as a threat to the peace, security, and development of the country. You are listening to a bulletin of news coming to you from the radio service of the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. We broadcast from Pinzio to Portport. Residents of Doe Estate and the FDA Banafan community in District Number 4, Monsoto County, have benefited from the installation of solar lights by Representative Kennedy Liability. The solar light installation is in continuation of Liability quest to make sure people in hard-to-reach places benefit from his Light Up District Number 4 project. The chairman of the Liability Foundation, who made a presentation to the two communities, said BDT has committed himself to ensuring that communities benefit from the ongoing Lights project. Momo Yen urged residents of the district to see liability as the only alternative to rescue the district from what he calls poor leadership. In separate remarks, residents of the two communities lauded liability for the gesture, adding he is the first individual to carry on solar lights to their community. They also commit themselves to support his representative bid. In another development, the District Number 4 Representative Kennedy has presented 30,000 Liberian dollars to the Women Village Saving Loan in the Doe Estate community. The money presented is in fulfillment of a promise made by Liability to the group during his recent visit in the community. Momo Yen, who presented the money on behalf of Ability, said it is intended to enhance the Women's Saving Club. He added that Liability has identified with several saving clubs within District Number 4 and is committed to do more for marketers who are struggling to sustain their businesses. In remark, the group leaders thank Liability for the money and vow to support his representative bid comes in the October 10 elections. And away from Liberia now, the aftermath of the deadly flooding in Libya has been described as a deeply shocking catastrophe that is unimaginable in its consequences by top UN official Martin Griffiths. Speaking to the United Nations headquarters in Geneva, Griffiths, who is UN Under Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, added that the disaster was a massive reminder of climate and its presence. He added that the UN faced a really difficult year ahead and expected that government capacity to deal with the climate change will be strengthened to the limit. He also said a disaster coordination team had been deployed from Morocco to help with the crisis in Libya. The political instability in Libya over the last decade, which includes several civil wars, has contributed to the devastating impact of the floods, said Griffiths. 300,000 people already dead, with that is already need aid before the dams fail. The UN has now launched an urgent appeal for just over 71 million to respond to the needs of those impacted by the flood. To end the news, here's one more at the headlines. A 41-year-old man identified as James Tokpa has reportedly committed suicide by hanging in District Number 6 at Division 6, Firestone, Margibi County. Presidential candidate Sheikh Mustafa Kuyate has identified industrialization of the agriculture and mining sectors as the easier means to face the crumbling Liberian economy. And Luca Richard, an American missionary facing investigation on suspicion of attempting to slit the throat of his girlfriend Jessica Law, said she was hit by a motorcycle after disembarking his vehicle. And away from Liberia, the aftermath of the deadly flooding in Libya has been described as a deeply shocking catastrophe that is unimaginable in its circumstances by UN top officials Martin Griffiths. That's RCR News Bulletin at 7. My name is Edwin Dolo.
past 7 o'clock. The very next time you hear news on the station will be at 8 o'clock on the number, which time will bring you 45 minutes of news coming from our newsroom. So for those of you there, thank you so much for holding on. We are continuing with the program, the SKTV, up to 8 o'clock on tonight. So Sekou, I'll be back after the news bulletin.
Yes, Melbourne, thank you so much. And thank you to the news crew. I really enjoyed the local news as always. And thanks to the news crew out there at Truth FM. Yeah, so unfortunately, we just heard a man killed himself, committed suicide.
Yeah,
Because of,
yeah.
you
In
know,
fact, there were myself coming to even ask a question.
yeah, that's troubling.
How come?
That's troubling. I don't know. I don't understand the woman who, caught him doing that. The woman didn't kill herself. Why must he kill himself?
And even the woman was smart, I think according to the news, the woman was, in fact, the time people asking to pay $10,000 as fine for maybe for allegedly sleeping with another person's wife. Then how can now the person for the normally beating him? Anyway, is that conscience? Should I ask you? Maybe is the unconscious beating or what?
Maybe it's a shame.
Okay.
Maybe it's a shame, and maybe like you say, oh, he's unconscious to kind of flogging him. But whatever the case is, it's not a good news. We just thought to at least just briefly talk about it, but it's not what we are discussing here right now. Hopefully, Mr. Wisner will come back. I think he's here, so we can continue the conversation that we started. Mr. Wisner, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So, first, while we welcome Mr. Wisner, Chairman Wisner, on the show, we also want to encourage all of you to support SKTV. The last time we agreed unanimously, all of us, I'm talking about the fans, the well-wishers, and followers of SKTV, we agreed that on Friday, every Friday, is when everybody will support SKTV. The election day is nearing. We have how many days left? Melbourne, 25 days.
25 days to go. And in fact, thank you so wait, just started with with talking, man. So myself, I don't watch it, but Tango is there. And
Yeah, but
you
you didn't remind the people.
Myself, I don't think when the talking man started explaining myself, but they make carry me too. So all
And
of
as a matter of fact, Melbourne,
yeah,
the people's support is much more needed right now than ever before. Because why? I'm dealing with data now like everybody else. If I don't have data, we can't do show. Yeah.
Oh, you don't even need no kind of more data, no.
So right now, right now, we keep on today because Mr. Witness said, "My man, forget it. I got you." Today's show, we got to have it. See, now we are having a show. So we need everybody's support. We agree every Friday, everybody will support SKTV. The past Friday, okay, and I start talking and people start sending their support.
Yeah, I don't see is the cash app.
Yeah, the cash app number, the cash app is there.
Okay.
Before I started talking, somebody I already actually sent $100, and then when I started talking, somebody just sent $30. But
okay,
we just reminding everybody, folks. I had one say we shouldn't be doing cash out every day. Let's do it every Friday. So now today is Friday. We need everybody to send their contribution. Everybody that get it, you don't get it, fine. But people that get it, they send it. I just remind you guys. So, Mr. Wisner, I don't know whether you concluded what you were saying about when I asked you about the healthcare. If you finish, we can ask you another question. If not, we can start from where you stop.
Yes, I thank you again, Sekou, and thank you for bringing me back and to our listening audience. I was talking about Mr. Cummins's health policy, and I just want to comment on a few key issues with Mr. Cummins' health. And Forgive me, but I want our audience to listen carefully. What this man, Mr. Cummings, and the CPP are offering to the Liberian people, different from what the others are offering. Mr. Cummings promised that he will not do the same thing over and again. And he's talking about the way we run the country, the way we look at development, the way we look at growth. And the healthcare is very, very important to him. So I started off by saying Mr. Cummings is going to focus on two aspects of healthcare. One of his priorities will be on preventive healthcare. In other words, Mr. Cummings says that there are many things, many sicknesses that Liberian people are dying from that they shouldn't die from. In the first place, if the people had enough information, they will not even contract those illnesses and they will be able to control it. Because some of the diseases and the sicknesses that we got is just about lifestyle. So Mr. Cummings is saying on the preventive side, one of the things that he's going to do is to increase access to healthcare. When I say access, Mr. Cummings is saying every citizen, whether you live in Nanaku, or you live in Vahum, or you live in Kavala in Maryland County, or you live in Nima County, you should be able to go to a health center when you need to go there.
Mr. Wisner, not to cut you off. You remember the last time when you're speaking in a manner and form that our people can understand the way, the best way you can do that. The one we call in our simple English. So that all those people there while you're learning your university, my woman ain't getting hear that. The woman want to understand for the first time when you say it like you did it last time. That's why they call you Mr. Explanation. When you say it, they get it for the first time. So
no.
I was just in back to say, Seku, please tell our man, let the man put it in simple English. So we can hear it. So do that for them.
But now my people will roll. You know?
Exactly. I know.
No, but honestly, no, Seku. What Mr. Cummings is saying? He said, look, plenty Liberians, so many Liberians, we die from sicknesses that in the first place we're not so die from. We're not even so catch those sicknesses. If we know how to make the sickness not to come near us. So he said, hey, government going to make sure that first of all, as much as possible, Liberian people must try to go far away from those sicknesses. One of the things he said he's going to do first, every Liberian citizen, you out there, our mothers, my little brother, my cousin way over there in Kavala, or somebody who in Vahum, or in Kolakone, or in Saclay-Pied. He said, wherever you are, you must be able to reach some kind of hospital or government clinic. That is, he's going to make sure government clinics are built, and the ones that are built, he will make sure that they're working so that everybody can be able to go there. He called that one access, so that all of us, when we want to go to the hospital, we can go there. Why does he want us to go to the hospital when we want to go there? As part of his preventive health. When you say preventive, that means as part of stopping us from getting sick. He said plenty time in Liberia. The only time we go to hospital when our hair hurting. The only time you see plenty of us go to hospital when we already getting malaria in our system. When our skin hot, we feel like vomiting, that time we go to the hospital. By that time we already sick. But he said if the hospital, every citizen, when they won't go to the hospital, they can go there and it's cheap, where they can pay small money. We call it where it's affordable. Then you can go there, you can check your temperature. You can do what people call screening. He said every Liberian should have the opportunity to go and to afford, to be able to pay for people to check whether you're getting sick, to check whether you're developing sugar, diabetes, to check your pressure, besides giving you information on how to stop them. So part of what Mr. Cummings wants to do is to make sure all of you Liberian people, you must have access, you must be able to have hospital not far from you, to have healthcare not far from you. And in places where we can build a hospital or a clinic, he will have what he call mobile clinic. There are hospitals that are on wheels and moving from one place to other place with a doctor then. Then he said that one, that's just for prevention. But he said, suppose the people get sick. He said that one, he will make sure all the hospital, JFK, J.J. Dawson, Buchanan Hospital, all the hospital plus the new one that he will build, plus the small clinic, the mobile clinic. He said he will make sure that they will get good medicine. That first they will get medicine there, so that you don't go to the hospital when the doctor finish checking you. The doctor say, "Oh, you get malaria." Then they say, "Go across the road to local pharmacy to go buy your drug." You say, "No. When the doctor say you sick in JFK or in any hospital, tablet must be there, medicine must be there to treat you." So he said he'll make sure all the hospitals get the medicine they need. Then, not only that, the doctor then I will look at you. They must be trained doctor. Because sometimes in Liberia, now you go to hospital nowadays, everything your hair hurting, your skin hot. They say that
on you.
Yeah, they put drip on you. That for.
Yeah.
It kills our people. He said he will make sure we got good doctors. We got good nurses. Our school that we got, we call the medical school, TNIMA, and other school. He made sure that they got good teachers to teach them so that when they move from there, we put them in the hospital, they will be able to take care. He said his government will put money inside to make sure that we do that. Then he said the equipment there in the hospital, the thing the doctor can use, we will have it to show what kind of sickness you have. Diagnostics, he will invest inside. And here is a big one now. Sekou, before you ask a question, for the doctors and the nurses. He said for the people to treat you, for them to be happy, the government must pay them good. So you're listening to healthcare people. Mr. Cummings is saying under his administration, the CPP administration, doctors and nurses will be paid good. And we will ensure, he said he will ensure that all the Google doctors, they're not only in Monrovia, that when you sick, you in Saclay, you got to come to Monrovia, or you in Vonjoma, you got to come to Monrovia. He said no. He will make sure Google doctors in those places. But how will he make sure the Google doctors in the places? The place where the big hospitals are in all of the counties, they call it referral hospitals. He will ensure that to each of those referral hospitals, he will build doctors' quarters That means houses. So when you doctor, the government assign you from Monrovia and assign you to Bogon J in Sando County, you will not miss nothing because the government will make sure you get a place to sleep. You get food there to eat. So the government will build sleeping place for doctors and nurses.
So
And
not
other
to cut you off, I want you to actually answer the other question too, because the one we call the woman that can be pregnant to go to hospital because of no good hospital, no good doctor, no good care for them. Some of them can die from giving birth. That one is plenty in Liberia. What Mr. Comey plan to stop looking at things so that women that are pregnant, they don't have to put in hammer, bring them all the way to Monrovia or get ambulance before people can pay attention to them. The one that in the rural area, what Mr. Comey's plan to do to make sure that the women that got pregnant anywhere in Liberia, they will give birth without risk of being dead from giving birth.
Good question.
Because a lot of people in the village, they're concerned about that.
A good question because Mr. Cummings now say this over and again.
Okay.
Mr. Cummings say, besides the hospital and the nurses and the clinic that he will have, they will have something they call mobile hospital to go way in the villages where government in big hospital yet. They will make sure doctor then will be able to go from village to village. But on the pregnant woman thing, something the both people call prenatal care. Most of the pregnant women, the thing that can give them problem during the time they go born, delivery, is because when you're pregnant, from the time you reach certain month, maybe 3-4 months, I'm not a health person, but you see, you're supposed to be going to the doctor every now for checkup. As your belly grow big, the doctor's supposed to look at you to advise. They give you certain injection, certain medicine, they tell you certain food that you're supposed to eat, apart of the preventive health. It's supposed to be. Mr. Cummings said most of the people, because they get money to do that one, and the hospital, first of all, is far from them, from the village. That's why you can see, they see doctor for 9 months they're pregnant. Sometimes they see a doctor one time. So when they go pregnant now, they know what was happening to their body. So then they get complication, then it get difficult for the doctor. That's why you find plenty of people can have problem when they go deliver. Mr. Cummings is saying people ain't got to have that type of problem. If people can go to the hospital and get regular checkup while they're pregnant, so he said for all pregnant women, prenatal care, he will ensure that they get attention from the doctor. So they get their regular checkup leading to the time they will go born the baby. And he will make sure that's something that the people ain't got to be expensive for the people. He said he's going to emphasize that. We call it prenatal care. And even after you born your baby, the health people, Mr. Cummings' health people, they put together the plan. And he said for the Liberian people, until the baby reaches certain age, there are certain vaccinations the baby got to take. Your tetanus vaccination, the whooping cough, the measles vaccination, the smallpox vaccination. He will make sure the babies will be able to be treated with those vaccinations. They will be there.
But is that going to be free for the baby until they reach certain age or certain month?
In the government hospitals, yes. In the private hospital, the government going to ensure that it is affordable. In other words, the government going to make sure the hospital people, the money, the cost for running the hospital, he bring it down, he call it subsidized. But he going to make sure that pregnant women, that the children but until certain age, their vaccination are free for them. Because Mr. Cummings is saying, if the population is not strong, if the population sick, you think we'll talk about private sector growth? You think we'll talk about improving the economy? No way. That's why he said we can't do the same thing and expect different results. We have to go to where the problem is. That's why he said, I'm coming to fix it. Because the other people, and not that they don't know book, the other people who been ruling the country, not that they don't know book, but their own, they kept doing things from the time J.J. Rowell time, and things not changing. He's going to change things. So for health, he's going to say, my people, Mr. Cummings say, health facility will be everywhere in the country. And where the government ain't get money for that time to build hospital or clinic, the government will make sure we get mobile clinic on wheels, on a car, and moving from place to place to treat people. Cummings say he will make sure that Liberian people will not wait until you get sick before you go to the hospital to check common things like your blood level or your sugar level. You'll be able to go to the hospital for screening and will be cheap. Then you will have access. So Sekou, that will help. When you finish, I don't know whether you get a question because you finish. I want to talk about Mr. Cummings agriculture thing.
I got one more question.
Right.
This thing we'll go to agriculture, but I still got one more question about the health business.
Yes.
Because me, a lot of people can call me and give me a lot of information that you can't get to you people. So when I hear, I get plenty of questions to ask. I saw one woman yesterday. He said, but Sekou, the hospital business, some area we got hospital. Every year we can see budget. They say that will cover all the hospital there. But the budget, the money coming to the hospital, they can't reach. Even the American ambassador, McCarthy, before he left, he traveled everywhere. The Jowea people, then they put in the money in the budget, take the money from the people, they say they're going to use it to the hospital. People are not getting the money. What plan Mr. Cummings has to make sure that when the money is budgeted, to say their money here, they're going to the hospital in Playboy, they're going to Buchanan Hospital, that money rich, and the money is used for the people of Playboy, for the people of Buchanan, for the people of Bapolu, for the people of Payne, Secret PA, and other part of Liberia. Not only they say we put the money there, but the people are not seeing the money. Wherein the people come, they work on them, but no medicine for them. No money to even buy medicine for them. So what are they going to do? What Mr. Cummings is going to do to make sure that the money reach to those hospitals and the money is used for the intended purposes?
That's a very good question. Sekou, let me just say something first. You know, when Mr. Cummings talk about this money, the American ambassador say, it's not the country, this country is not poor, my people, but that is still in business. George Weah and his people, they fool the Liberian people, they added the poor money in the budget for the hospital. Then they turn around, they steal the money. That's why the hospital, they ain't got drugs, ain't got medicine. Mr. Cummings say, first of all, he will put stop to that war. Look at, if you go to Nima County, even the man who running on Joseph Boyka ticket, that he own a hospital, he on the budget committee in the legislature. They don't want to decide what kind of money go to what place. But instead, he take that money to go to all the hospitals. One of the examples I gave him, only a hospital in Nima, he put money in the budget that a hospital will get. Come and say, no, that one will not happen. When the government said that $10 for the health care, he will make sure that all the hospitals receive what they put in the budget. No crocodile. And you, a minister, or the person working in your government, you go, you play with the people money. He will lay hand on you. He will lay hand on you. He will carry you to the law. The reason why you see most of the hospitals, they get drugs, they get good doctors, won't get to do because so stealing business. They fool the Liberian people. They go to do big budget. Then they pull $1 million. They say that $1 million we're going to pull to the hospital, to Phoebe Hospital, to JJ Dawson, to all the hospitals there via Momo. When you go low, so Vlad. When you go to the pass behind it, they steal the money. Seku, that's a problem, Mr. Comey say, we got to stop that one first. The plenty stealing. The same thing they did a few times again. They didn't put money in the hospital, but you see what happened to the airport a few times. They bring drug in the country to make the children sick more, to spoil the children. That part of it because greedy for money. That's what happened with the government job we are and his people.
Okay. So you want to talk about agriculture. I want you to because I got a question on agriculture too, but the part that you want to talk about, because the people that I talked to, they told me their concern, major concern, is agriculture in Liberia is just about people the one they can eat. If they do more, they can live within his spot because no road to go sell it. In fact, they say the government not doing any subsidy, any help to make sure that they can be able to do big farming, where they can eat some, keep some, and sell some. Is there any plan for the farmer there, from Mr. Cummings?
Mr. Cummings get plenty plan for the farmer.
Okay.
Mr. Cummings say, look, our problem in the country, it's not that we get plenty farmers. If you ask all the educated people, they tell you more than 60% of Liberian people are farmers. In other words, Mr. Cummings say, for every 10 Liberian person that you count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, for every 10 Liberian person, at least 6 of them into farming business. But then when you ask why you got plenty of Liberians doing farming, but yet we can't feed ourselves. Whole day we're crying for rest. How come more than half of the population on a farm, but yet the people hungry? The reason is simple. The reason is simple. It's because number one, the way we do the farming business. The way we do the farming business. First, the farming will do it small. Somebody do buy a garden, they say that farming. Then also we get the right kind of information on where to grow the food and how to manage the food. So Mr. Cummings said when he look at it, the way he look at agriculture, say he's talking about building the economy, everything that he's doing is about economic growth and development, right? So he say agriculture, that 2 things he will do in agriculture. He will help the farmers to grow more food. That means he will give you tools. Not just the hoe and the shovel. He will make sure through the agriculture ministry, we get Caterpillar and other people, the big yellow machine to help the farmers because they see farming as a back-breaking thing. What time one man will go clean 10 acres of land with shovel and hoe?
Yeah.
When you can do it in 1 day or 2 days, he will help the farmer. So what he will do, he will provide the tools, but he will also provide extension services. That is, the people who know about agriculture. Part of them, even the students there who coming from the university, part of the National Youth Service School. Some of the students then they were assigned to the farm to help the farmers, to show them what to do, to give them information, what to do, to give them extension services. The government yellow machine will go from place to place to help the farmer to clear the land for you. That one day, you know? The reason why he'll do that for you to grow plenty food to feed yourself. But more than that, to encourage people to grow plenty food, they must see that the farming thing get plenty money. The farming thing, that business too, it can make you rich. And the country got plenty soil. When Liberian people start to see that I ain't got to go sit down in the office to go do office work, I can go and grow pineapple and sell it and get plenty money and buy my rest. You will see plenty people will go into farming. So Mr. Cummings said he will also not only help people, the farmers, to grow plenty of food so that they can feed all of us, but he will ensure that we bring back what we used to have before. Just how it used to be to LPMC, right? So that when you grow your food, the government will make sure that the government help you to find market, to buy what you get, so you can get money. Because when you start to get money from growing your food, you will see that you don't got to wait to get minister job. Everybody now want to farm. Right here to Africa Coast, right next to Africa Coast, all the big money people, the millionaires then, and not the PhD people, that the farmers, the people that are growing the coffee, that are growing the cocoa.
Man, you know what, Mr. Wisner, you know what?
What?
Every time you come here, because the way you know how to explain the thing, the time can be short with people. People want you to stay here for the longest. But what I want to do right now, I'm here, I'm open. We're going to come back again. But what I want to do, I want us to open the line. Some people in Labra there, some people sitting down right now where you are, they got question. They want to know what's going on. They want to support Mr. Cummings, but they too want to know what is in it for them. So that give me one the chance to open the line, at least for 5 minutes. 5 minutes only. Maybe we'll get that 5 minutes.
5 minutes, but I don't know.
People.
I want to ask questions, but I'll be here. Let me just go to the public, and I hope that maybe someone else too, maybe be in my
what's the point? Somebody will get a question. But if nobody get a question, when you close, then you can ask your question, then make a respond to all of them.
That's good. 0778-339-682. That's the number to call. 0778-339-682. Please just be brief though, because you know already we are already out of time, and the tough talking man is here to answer all of your questions, your concerns, and everything. Today's caller, good evening. Yeah.
No, Ben, am I getting a question?
All right, thank you so much. So let me see what I can get to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening,
yeah, Chief.
The boss of John Marble, and according to Lower Martin, I want to ask Mr. Wisner, the government of the company who have to minister agriculture, and the density that they're taking this amount of money when Mr. Cummings has the power to get minister agriculture to put her own farm under the government. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. What our Minister of Agriculture can open their own farm? That's a question to this column. Hello? Yeah, Chief, go ahead. Your name and from where you join us?
Yeah. My name is obviously I'm calling from seminary.
Okay, from seminary. Go ahead.
I want to know all these things that the campaign and all these things will happen in the state
All right. That's a question, right? As to whether everything going to happen in the first 6 years, or maybe if possible, maybe all the time that you will be in powerful, right? All right. So let me see. Let me get to the line. Previous caller. Good evening. Hello. Is there? Yeah, great. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead, Alvin.
Thank you very much. And you for all the information provided. You know, it's not easy. It has to talk. So the way the document, the men, all of the things that he promised to do, they make it always come on the show and talk it. Other candidates, other presidents, talking to all the money. But all they want to do is just want to get in power. And also, so all the citizens that are talking all the people, the only one power is for power. They're not for power. The main situation is like now. And we want to trust this country. So we all should be let us trust people vote for the men. They get it that because it's better than for tomorrow. And another question and also thing for the citizens is that we want to know whether this is the government getting power, what is the really about the workers because these are the same tools that also help to be able to restrict the country when it comes to those who are involved in corruption.
Rule of law, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Rule of law. We'll take one more call, then we'll cross over to Islam to answer. Maybe yes, I think 2 or 3 questions. So to keep a calls coming 0778 339 682. Then we just take 1 or 2 more calls, then we'll cross over to George Wisner 0778 339 682. That's the number to call in. Let me see who on this line. All right. Yeah. So George, you just listen to let me see again. The people keep calling back to back while someone and I be talking to. This caller, your last caller. Yeah, my brother, good. Thank God. Go ahead, your name and from where you join us. Okay, Cooper, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for the
Yeah, go ahead, Chief.
The way I see Brodsky is a good leader. Let me say Brodsky and for really Mr. Kumi is helping to spoil our vote in the country.
When you vote?
Yeah. John with Waka, then it could be very.
Man, you're not ready yet. The people talking to me. So the only one person that can become personal. Yeah, man. If you don't have anything to say, but yeah. Hello, go ahead. Your last caller, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, people.
Yeah.
My question to Wisner is all the information you have provided concerning your
No. It's not be Cummings.
So listen to me, I know I'm saying, let me know. All the information you provided concerning your family. So all of these things, it still work for the man to become fit to something. So where were you at the time?
I don't understand what you're saying. Say, my man, you don't confuse everything. How you wait. My man, you're not ready. That pop in your house. Yeah, your last call, go ahead.
How are you?
Yeah, my brother, good.
Thank you. I have 1 or 2 concerns for Mr. Wisner.
Yeah.
Okay, right now, our president leadership is mostly opposition calling free education, free YFC. I'm trying to understand, I'm not really understanding well. What is the EMT or the CPC program for the continuation or abolition or the legalization of that process?
Okay.
My second question has to do with the health I was talking about. And I realized that some time ago there was a good health training center in Grand Villa County. And the nurses were always very busy there. They were sitting there and putting their out to teach in the hospital. What is the CPP program in order to continue the work country and training facilities for health centers for health workers?
All right, thank you. So we'll have to get another more calls. Yeah. So George, you just listen to Liberians So you can pick up from there, please.
Okay. I'm not too sure I got all the questions because some of them came broken. So
Yeah, me
the
too. Some
one-
of them are very low. I didn't hear everything,
yeah.
but just try
So
your best.
the ones that I can remember, I will talk it. So let's start with the last one. I think I pick it up. If I'm hearing him, he said in the past, like in Grand Chile and other places, the government used to have this training, the place where people go to school, the nurses, to train nurses and then put in the hospital. Whether it's going to continue under Mr. Cummings. This is
And
part
the free
of,
tuition also.
yes,
And
this
the free
is
tuition also, yeah.
the free tuition at the university that Mr. Weir government announced. What Mr. Cummings is going to do about it. But let me talk about the health side. We think Mr. Cummings has said clearly to the Liberian people, because health is a priority. Health is important for him. That's one thing he said: the Liberian people must remain sound, they must remain healthy. So to do that, Mr. Cummings said you must get good people in the hospital, good doctors, good nurses, good everything. So one way to do that, the government schools that can train doctors, that can train nurses, he said he's going to make sure that government school he gives support. He gives support to that government school to make sure that we get good doctors and nurses. Not only that, Mr. Cummings will make sure that when people graduate from Dr. Yati, from our medical school, especially the ones that are very, very smart, good, he's going to make sure he's sending people for them to specialize. You know, when you come from the medical school, that means what you call general practitioner. You can look at all the sicknesses, but you're not master or anyone. You juggle all three. So Mr. Cummings said, we got to make sure that our doctors we send in. So some people can go to just study about the eyeball business. So anybody eyeball hurting, they take care of them. Somebody who just there to study about the teeth. So when you get 2A hurting you, that person that is under area. Somebody there to be able to open people's stomach when they need to open the stomach, that is under area. So yes, my brother, Mr. Cummings is going to make sure that those institutions, those government schools will continue to produce quality doctors and nurses. But even the private institutions that are training people for the health sector, under Mr. Cummings' government, Mr. Cummings say, in another way, a looking everybody they just open nursing school all over the place. So his government will make sure that when you open nursing school, you must get good teachers to train the people that's why we're going to the hospital. Because when that man or that woman made mistake on one patient, that dying business. So he's going to make sure those private schools also receive government subsidy, but also that government will ensure that those schools got everything they need to operate as schools to train our medical people. Not a free tuition at the University of Liberia. You know, Mr. Cummings said the other day, it is hard, it's difficult when you give somebody something free to take it back from them. So what he's going to do, the government, they didn't do real work to see how other people can do this thing. Because Mr. Weir and his government, they were just off for show. Because they're stealing the people money, they're not doing right. So they say if we say that free education, then the people will not think about the stealing and the way we're not running the country good. So Mr. Cummings said, so since they announced it now, you look at the university, look at some of the picture there. Some of the students are still sitting down on the ground. You go there, some of the classrooms still leaking. The teacher then said, every day they got to go on strike to talk about their pay before they get paid. He said, no. What we'll do now, we will focus on the university so that they
I'm
can
sorry.
give
So we only got 1
quality
minute to go on the radio. I don't want the
Yes.
people be running behind me. Say, we gotta go, we gotta go. So I want you to conclude as fast as you can.
So for
But
that
then
school,
again,
for that school business,
we are
we will
available
come
whenever
again.
you're ready. Just give me a heads up. I'll come by again. Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever
So that it is,
we are available, let me know you want to come on. I'll come by again.
yes, I will, Seku. Then lastly, to the man who talk about the farm business, government will bring back government farm. In the past, they used to have government farm. Mr. Cummings said we'll bring back government farm and we'll bring back LPRC in the country.
Wow.
We'll bring back, not LPRC, but LPMC, so that the farmer can sell their things and get money. We will do it. On the war crime code, nobody who steals from the Liberian government will go free. Everybody will go to the law. Those who do bad things in the country, Mr. Cummings will not run behind you that the law will hold you. So yes, Mr. Cummings will bring the code, not just for the war crime, but for people who steal. They call it an economic crime. So those people who steal, they're now running on other people's ticket. They think they will be free via Momo. Mr. Cummings say, under his administration, you do bad things in the country, the law will hold you. You steal from the Liberian people, the law will hold you.
All right. Yeah, just hold on for a second. Just say thank you to the people on the radio, Melbourne, and the entire crew. We want to say thank you for you guys. So I'm gonna close without being on the radio, but we just want to say goodbye to the guys and the fans and followers listening to us on the radio. We got to go back to the news, to the actual news now. Melbourne, we will talk after the show, okay? Job well done.
Thank you, thank you.
Acting up, hopefully. My internet is acting up right now. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, Mr. Wisner too gone. And mine is tripping right now. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I just wanted to update you guys. This is crazy. Can you guys still hear me? Please give me please say yes or no if you can hear me. The internet is tripping from my end. Let me know if you can hear me. Please say yes. Somebody said they can hear me, but I don't know why the internet keep buffering from my end. So we agreed the other day that everybody going to be contributing. Everyone who wants to contribute going to be contributing to SKTV on a Friday. So today we have 10 people that contributed. From the Zelle was 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people donated through Zelle. We have $50, we have $100, we have $20 and $25 on Zelle. On the Cash App, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Somebody donated $30, 25, 20, 25, 20, and $50. We want to say thank you to all of you. Even though everybody say we should do it on Friday, we have close to 2,000 people watching. Only 10 people donated. You got to support SKTV, especially right now. Not only we are taking care of making sure we set up all our correspondents and reporters in every part of Liberia, funding is needed. I know there are people who have actually supported us in the back, but it's not enough. Some of you, when we're not on, you miss us, you want us to come on. But right now, I'm not sure where the election going to meet me. Could meet me right here in Africa. Maybe myself will do most of the walking to go around, to go to some places. If it meets me in the US, I will have to do what we got to do. We got to make sure our correspondents and reporters are well placed, funded, and are well equipped. For those of you who already did, I want to say thank you. We appreciate you so hard. So much. Just a reminder, those of you who were not here today, perhaps you'll be here tomorrow, we'll remind you, because we know out of 2,000 people or maybe 1,900 people watching, 10 people, that's not enough. We say we don't care the amount. $5, $1, $2, whatever you can donate, it will show that you're actually supporting SKTV. And we made it our business by all means to come on almost every day. So it's important. This is beyond party line. I know for a fact the majority of our supporters, fans, and well-wishers, people who actually support SKTV financially, most of you are members or supporters of the CPP somehow, some ways, I must admit. Because I know from the comments, from the interactions, from the way you guys do things, I know people that have been supporting SKTV. Don't get me wrong, there are people who are not part of the CPP. From time to time, they support SKTV, but they are not consistent and they only do it once in a blue moon. But people that have been supporting us throughout, to be honest, most of them are CPP supporters. And SKTV does not belong to any group of people, any particular political parties, or any group of individuals. We belong to Liberia and the Liberian people. That's why we speak truth to power, regardless of who is at the receiving end. So I want to say thank you to all of you. We'll see you tomorrow. If you have not contributed yet, try to do it. If not, that's fine. If you have it, do it. If you don't have it, that's okay. All right? So, yeah, as I speak right now, somebody just sent $20. And before then, before then, somebody else sent money. I'm not sure how much that was. Yeah, so yeah, somebody sent $20 while I was just speaking to Zelle. So I want to say thank you to all of you. If you haven't contributed, please do so. If you don't have it, that's okay. If you have it, do it. You ask us to do it on every Friday, so that way we can be doing it every day. Now the election is nearing. You know SKTV is here to stay. Even after the election, we're still going to be around. Whatever government or whoever wins, we will be here to hold them accountable, to hold their feet to fire. So SKTV is your only station that you can count on when it comes to integrity, when it comes to trust, when it comes to truthfulness, when it comes to professionalism. I want to say thank you to all of you for watching. We'll be here tomorrow. We love you, and you have a wonderful day.
Niki majigi aladi porota.
Tela